I'm Arden Carlson, the guide here at 23 Paradise Road in Swampscott. This is the house where Mary Baker Eddy lived from October of 1865 to March of 1866. Not very long, but she called this house the birthplace of Christian Science, and it was while she was here that she had the healing that led to her discovery. She was then known as Mary Patterson. She was 44 years old and had been married to Dr. Daniel Patterson for 13 years. He had a dentistry practice in Lynn, and while they were in this apartment, he was practicing itinerant dentistry. And on February 3rd of 1866, she was in Lynn to attend a temperance meeting and slipped and fell on the ice. The newspaper reported that she was severely injured, and she was taken to a nearby house owned by Samuel Bouvier. He owned a very large shoe factory in Lynn at that time, and so she was well cared for. The Bouviers called a Dr. Cushing, who was a well-known homeopathic doctor and surgeon, and he found that she had spinal injuries as well as internal injuries. When she regained consciousness on Friday, she asked to be brought home, which was here, and he was against it, but he did do as she wished and organized a sleigh, bundled her up, brought her to this house. This is a second-floor apartment, so he carried her into the house, and several of her friends also were with her at that time. And he decided on Saturday that there was no more he could do for her and gave up the case, didn't come back. Her minister was summoned on Sunday and came to pray with her and prepare her for death. She asked for her Bible, and she writes about this experience in the Science and Health, and I'm going to read to you what she wrote in the 1881 or third edition, and that was actually a part of the Science and Health until a major revision in 1886, which was the 16th edition. She does use the editorial we, which sounds unusual to us now, but it was more typical then. We became insensible after the injury and were taken to the house of Mr. Samuel Bouvier, one of our most respected citizens. The kindness and care of his excellent wife and the administration of ether carried us through the first night. We were then removed on a bed to our home. The case was pronounced fatal by our attending physician and surgeon. He said we could not survive over 3 days. The third day was the Sabbath. Our clergyman visited us before services, prayed with us, and said farewell. We asked him to call after meeting. He replied by asking us if we knew the fatal nature of our injury and that we were sinking and might not survive the day. We replied that we knew it all, but had such faith in God we thought he would raise us up. After he left, we requested to be left alone. We opened the Bible to the 3rd chapter of Mark, where our Master healed the withered hand on the Sabbath day. As we read, the change passed over us. The limbs that were immovable, cold, and without feeling warmed. The internal agony ceased. Our strength came instantaneously, and we rose from our bed and stood upon our feet well.